Alright, so this is the first fight versus Weebs. Tayuku. This war was very weird. This is a post-match commentary, of course. And I'm getting to this very late. Like, we did this war a long time ago. Compared to like when I'm actually doing this voice commentary. So I'm actually watching this again, kind of being reminded of what's happening. I did not pre-script this in terms of like prep to what to talk about. I actually don't know what's gonna happen. This team I see a lot actually. Crow, S10, ML Ken, Crow sometimes on Holy Sack, sometimes on Aureus, and there I wasn't yielding. I think I was just gonna turn on the voice, I think, because I don't hear it. Yeah, I think I turned it on. I think I turned it back on. I don't know, or maybe I didn't care. So I wasn't trying to yield. So anyways, this one, commentary on this, pretty solid. I mean, it's kind of anti-cleave, but S10 requires a cleave really. Too risky to run into it without cleaving her out. But no attack buff, so even if the S10 was really crazy, you bring some tanky heroes with good effect resistance, you have an okay time. As you noticed that at the beginning, I did actually save my maid Chloe's S3 one turn after, especially after understanding the speed tuning. This one was actually worth it. I get countered by ML Ken and most likely die, but it was worth to kill the Spectani. Yeah, you want to wait one turn if you're gonna bring my comp into this. Generally it's pretty good. It's a 3-turn revive buff, and after Crowd does his S3, your threat is almost over. Minus the ML Ken, of course, but it's only gonna go into C Armin. And again, 3-turn revive buff is very, very good. It's just enough for an SSB to kill off any remaining opponent. So as you can see here, so it didn't matter which one he went into. In terms of the S3, you would always have a revive. The Crow is there just to try to guarantee a kill, I think. Yeah, I think at this point, there you go. I turned on the. That looks more like something I would do. This one, oh, I remember this. This was before my Crow was rebuilt on 90 gear. So although this war was pre-90s, even before the entire thing was announced, this commentary comes after with the knowledge of 90 gear. So my Crow very scuffed. It has 150 effect resistance, but because it chased the effect resistance too hard, his tanky substats are really bad. So, I mean, I can share the stats right now because I have a new Crow with 90 and 88. But he has, at this point, he has about 1400 HP. And as you saw there, almost 19,000 HP, which is really bad. Wait, did I say? Yeah, 1400 defense rather, not 1400 HP. 1400 defense and about almost 19,000 HP. Very low, very low. And this one, no light bait. I was thinking I could just full tank it. Judging by like average speed tuned heroes, I would be okay. This one I was kind of like greedy. I was like, okay, should I just, you know, S3 and not heal? But I decided to play it safe. Like Dark Corvus will be an eventuality in terms of like killing things. I think that Charles was on a counter set though, if I remember correctly. That was very scary. If he had crit my Akates, should be in like kind of a bit of a danger. Yeah, so my Crow at this point can't really face tank like multiple targets. So actually I think I ended up losing him near the end. Yeah, I thought this was close enough to kill the SSB, but I don't think I can. At the moment right now though, with 90 gear, my Crow has totally different like gear though, and then reforged, and then he's a lot better. He's a lot better. He's definitely a higher level Crow now. But yeah, that was very scary, and I still haven't even killed one person yet. So that this entire fight was very clutch. Although like with Akates and very high DPS without the SSB now, it was much more secure. Especially now they would like most likely be feeding Dark Corvus because Charles would never attack Akates, minus the S3 of course. And then A Robbie was the only problem there, because she could attack Akates technically if my Dark Corvus was full health, 50-50 chance. So that's why I went to kill her off first and then left to Charles. Although now thinking back though, I didn't calculate his attack buff coming on that turn, so I was kind of scared that if it was built on a counter set, I'd be pretty much like killed. But Charles does need to cycle into his S2 sometimes, like this. So it's like a 1-3 round unless they hit super hard. Because the S1 into the S2, arguably speaking, is the scariest thing about Charles. It's just because that damage is just huge if he could combine both S1 and S2. Yeah, and then this one is pretty good. If he stacks it, then Dark Corvus gets stacked quicker, and then you could use that. Yeah, well, not much content honestly to use Dark Corvus, but I wanted to get this one. And that's it for this fight. This video recording was actually a bit glitchy, so I'm not quite sure if my commentary will actually sync up. I'll do my best in the editing phase, but it's very glitchy at the beginning especially, so I might lose a bit of if the commentary doesn't make sense. Anyways, first things first was to analyze the speed tuning and what to do. I was tempted not to use the S3 at first because like kind of what would be the point? That was my first question. But then I see the speed tuning that Alina and the Tenebria was sandwiched before my SSB. It made it really good because then my SSB, the S2 would not proc here, and then Tenebria is freed and she has to go for CRman. So even if she had a strip like a violin, which she did, it wasn't a big threat. At this point I'm like, okay, I'm gonna save my heal, I believe. I don't think I use it, yeah. And I hit the ammo can because I wanted to feed the SSB on that turn, but it didn't crit. So, but this one does. I guarantee, since your invincibility, it's somewhat a strategy to use an ammo can to your advantage. The problem with this one was the heal on the Alina. That would be something that helped. And then of course the strategy behind this is actually not that terrible compared to like our first fight with the Crow. Technically it's the same thing. It's trying to be a bit anti-cleave with the ML cannon and Alina in place. But again, no attack buff on the Spectani, so even if she's amazing, I'm talking about like amazing, the best stats, I mean without an attack buff there's only so much damage you can do compared to like a CRman with damage mitigation with damage share with the Aureus and or SSB's passive in that case. But because it was on a violin, it definitely set me back because of course then it removed my attack buff, which or had a potential to, which would be detrimental to my progress. With Alina always trying to heal on the S3, I think this team, to be honest, S2 rather, this team to be honest was a lot better compared to the Crow one. The Crow one guarantees the kill. This one guarantees your Spectani to be annoying as heck, which is what this one proved to be. So I like both concepts, but I think the Alina concept is actually really good. I think if the Alina was like built like on a, actually I don't even know what would be better, to be honest. I would probably go with a counter with Celestine. I don't know if the tome is 100% necessary, especially if you're gonna somehow Oxlot's JK cleave, because you get 2 turns, so even if she cuts in with tome it doesn't work. But the counter on the Celestine might even heal them more. The thing is, again, yeah, Spectani is only vulnerable to like that kind of stuff. This one was a tough one. And again, I made sure that you know, I obviously ideally you have your S3 for your SSB saved at this point, because sometimes you don't know when they're gonna die. So you don't have a pit stop, so to speak. So I saved it pretty much the entire way. I never used the S3 until I knew I can sober and kill off the ammo can. Second fight, let me see what this is. Oh yeah, this was an interesting one for sure. I saw the series and I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm gonna outspeed that. So I was trying to go for the RNG, the 50% chance for it not to hit my Earth, and then therefore, you know, therefore I can use have the immunity still. Although the concept didn't really matter whether I had immunity or not. I guess it helps a bit if I want to keep like less RNG happening, for example elbow stripping or something like that. But again, I kind of saw this, I'm like, oof, that's harsh. Like the Charles hit really hard for that one, especially my Yuffie is squish. But again, it's kind of like the SSB MLCC comp. I use this to take out those comps. The MLCC Charles SSB, old comp now, I guess. A lot of people don't run that anymore. But similar concept. Go with 2 Earth, and Yuffie is always really good. That Charles almost didn't die on that hit, and that one crit, so that was really unlucky. And I died, but then Charles really helped and saved the day on this one. He just went crazy. Definitely RNG was a bit on my side. It made the fight a lot easier. So Cerise is tricky because Cerise is it can be very threatening, especially with the debuffs and how many turns she can get, turn cycle wise. I got lucky on that one though.
Children of the stars will be saved.
Yeah, Charles is good. So for that one, yeah, I definitely have to say, like, most of these guild wars I'm running more and more risky comps, but I kind of getting bored of just guild wars, the same stuff over and over. So going with something with a bit more flair is kind of cool. I mean, realistically, you don't want to bring a Violet into a Lilius fight. Like, opposing elements, one, but then the other thing is the dual attack. You have no idea how salty that can be on Lilius, and she will go for Violet, of course. I banked with the MLDB with the Moonlight Dreamblade, and this Alencia still got lucky and stripped, but I resisted it. So really highly recommend Violet on immunity set to go into a Lilius fight without much hassle. You don't get pushed back, you don't get provoked if she turn cycles too quick. This one she will provoke because apparently the speed tuning was just perfect enough that my Violet actually gets a turn. But the concept to this is, of course, like the SSB high threat, always a high threat, and at the most my A Robbie can outlast the Lilius. So once the SSB was gone, the A Robbie, even if my Violet did die, I still had a revive. Look at that. That's very scary stuff. That's very scary stuff. We got provoke, we got death break. Very risky. But with an A Robbie self-sustaining, I think I was on a Draco plate on this one. I think I went with that. Yeah, I think I went with Draco plate. It's just a kind of a riskier, well, less risky with her. So went risky with a Violet really, but then went less risky with the A Robbie. I think some people think that A Robbie is as an easy win as a Dark Corvus. That was pretty unlucky. I was still on my Apple too, so that was kind of weird. I was thinking about this and I'm like, okay, this should be no problem. Again, Alencia won't attack Akates, but the death break into a Robbie is still very scary, so I had to be careful about that. I definitely did not want the Mind's Eye on the Alencia, so I try not to attack her. And then death buff, of course, is very good.
I never lose.
But yeah, with Akates being like one of the best healers right now, pure healer and cleanser, of course, she makes a lot of comps a lot safer. Like I would not trust a Momo on this one, just because you don't know how hard that Alencia hits. Again, I went in without any prior knowledge of any gear, any speed or whatever.
This way.
And then yeah, you don't want to risk it. And the Momos have turns where she's not healing if your RNG isn't on your side. So my Akate's honestly doesn't really have that much good gear. I really should put more love into her. I think she's highly top healer. I think I would opt to make her quicker if I can get the stats for it, like faster. I thought I could kill her off there. That was feels bad. My crit rate on this A Robbie right now is at 93%. While that could be low to some, it's really hard to get that get all the stats I want. Pretty high defense, pretty good HP, good attack, 2k attack, with decent crit damage. That's really hard. On immunity set as well. I'm okay. I'm happy with it. Hear myself critiquing on my Robbie. Yeah, so this one was taking longer, but yeah, with that Lencia gone, that was a lot easier. I think I did opt to revive my Violet too, cause wait, this is the last fight, I think. It is the last fight. Never mind. I don't care. I don't think I cared about the Violet. I wanted to revive him though, but no.
I'll deal with this.
You're not bad at all. For a rookie. For victory.
Yeah, that barrier is a huge chunk to eat through sometimes, so it's kind of annoying. Lilius is a solid hero, very solid. She really deserves really good gear. Some Lilius can be real monsters. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I didn't even bother. Oh, I did revive him. I guess this is more of like a habit thing, but I wasn't going to though. Yeah. Oh, that was the first fight? Wow, that took long. Yeah, this one I went a bit risky. The Charles, like, there's no Sober and I have no Oxlots. The Charles, like, realistically had to have a death break just in case, but there was no damage mitigation, so I was like, okay, even if I don't get the death break, then, you know, it's... Unless that's like a really tanky Charles to bait, it shouldn't have been a problem. But yeah, once it became two healers, there's nothing Ruel and Dian can do combined. My Siri has 150 effectiveness as well, so it's pretty effective. Doesn't even a really good Ruel still has some RNG to fight versus debuffs. Oh, 18,000 HP DN. Actually, I didn't notice that. So I don't think it was on resist at all. Yeah, I tested. It's really hard to test the resistance on the heroes with my Syria. Oh wow. Okay, I actually forgot that happened. That looks really impressive in terms of the one-shot kill. I think I opted for the dual attack too. Yeah, it made more sense because I had another turn.
You can't stop me. Don't blame me.
She didn't die. The anti-crit buff, very good. Alright. So anyways, that is this fight. So again, yeah, this is the Guild War versus Weebs. Guess I can cut this short here. Yeah, if you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.